Hello, I'm Stephanie Becker, and I am super excited to share my Eportfolio with you tonight. So, we're going to go ahead and jump on in and take a look at what we're going to be looking at tonight. So, first of all, my Eportfolio contents, you're going to look at my candidate info, which is going to include some artifacts and some more information about me. And then we'll jump into the activities. So, within that, we'll look at the different things I did at the secondary level, the district level, and the elementary level, as well as looking at what my administrators had to share about me as they reviewed the ePortfolio. And then finally, we're going to end up with my reflection upon everything that was completed. So let's go ahead and jump on into my candidate information. So that's going to go ahead and look at my artifact folder, which is going to show you everything that is included within the ePortfolio. I have also included within my artifact folder, so you'll be able to click and reference each thing that you're going to see within my slide presentation. My program line completion just looked at my overall, just kind of history about me and when I started classes and when I planned to finish classes. And I will share that I knew there might be some positions opening up in my current district. So it was important to me that I really work hard and complete the program within a year. And I was able to do that. So, yay, I'm really excited. My goals when starting and just throughout, I knew that Fort Hays State was something that place that I wanted to go to because I'd heard good things about it. My professional goals were to gain a job as a administrator when I finished up my programming and spend the rest of my educational career as a building administrator. My leadership philosophy is always strongly based on I have always been a very student-centered teacher. That's why I went into teaching. My students are my top priority. My teachers are going to be my top priority, just so we continue to grow and learn together. My plan of study was the non-degree endorsement seeking, so it looked a little bit different than the master's programming. But just to give you again a highlight, I started in June and I'm wrapping things up now. My resume includes my professional statement, my previous endorsements that I've earned, as well as my education and work experience, and just some professional learning items that I've also been able to gain over the years. So we're going to jump more now into our ePortfolio activities, looking first at the annotated bibliography. And I will tell you that this was definitely a challenge for me as it required me to research and really dive in and seek out some articles that were going to support those different areas that we were focusing on. And I, after completing it, I will tell you that I really am thankful for it because I feel like it gives me a good base to go to if I am struggling within my job as an administrator, or there's questions, or I need help or to help a teacher. I've done it and I've been through it through this. And so it's something I can reflect upon and use, as well as it gave me the experience to having to get in there and dig out and find answers to information. So you're going to find the 33 articles that are summarized through there with my assessment and my reflection as well. My activity log and form spreadsheet just looks at how the activities that I've included are broken down as far as if they're a district activity, elementary, or secondary. So you'll find each one of those, as well as the standard that they are reaching within the activity. My component tracker is going to lay that out even further. So it's going to look at the different standards that I reached and the types of components and activities that address those standards. So let's go ahead and take a look at the district level activity artifact slideshow. Within this one, I really wanted to capture things that I had done district wide. And so one of those was looking at our current mission and vision statements. This one proved to be a little bit difficult because our district doesn't have a strong vision and mission statement, and it's something that they are currently working on redeveloping goals. So I had to visit with our assistant superintendent to kind of get some more information on that. The Another thing that I included was just the overall special education and protecting, preventing that teacher liability. That was something that I think needs to be shared district wide because we do have so many teachers involved within it. Next, I had the opportunity at the beginning of the year to come on into the new teacher orientation and share about classroom management, as well as just giving teachers a better understanding who were new on trauma and different behaviors that they might be seeing within the classroom. So that's what you're going to find in there is the presentation I created and a picture of me presenting. Operation and management, we are a one-to-one district as far as technology. And so data policies is huge. And that's an area that I felt like definitely would be something within that activity that we developed was something that I could help share within the district. Collaborative engagement is another one that I felt was really important to share district-wide because we are gearing towards being a more collaborative within our schools and with our teachers. And so that was an activity that I found very valuable because it gave me a resource and ideas to use when I do start as an administrator. And then finally, the KEEP evaluations that we were able to complete were highly valuable to me as it's something that I'm going to be doing and as part of an administrator job. So it was great to have that experience and provide those candidates with feedback. My elementary level artifact slideshow is going to have the most components as this is the area that I want to focus in. And so within it, you're going to find activities that am currently engaging in within my building, as well as activities through assignments that I completed. So this one is that I included is our SIT team, and that's something I'm very active in and have spent a lot of time engaging with teachers, collaboration. We meet frequently throughout the year to highlight those kids who are struggling. And so putting them into action, interventions, and strategies to help. This is another one that I included within my ethics and professional norms. I wanted to really model and let people see through the Eportfolio kind of my how I model professional norms, as well as just to show you an example. I'm always one to get down on kids' level, so you'll see in that awards presentation, a little guy had come up and um, wanted to help me out, so he got to help me out. But it's important to me that I model those norms daily with students and with staff. Creating an inclusive school culture is something that is very important to me as well. So that's another activity I decided to include within the elementary section, as well as this is another daily activity for me. It's part of my job currently and will continue to be part of that as I am a part of the IEP and 504 processes is developing behavior intervention plans. And within this, you'll see data that will take you to a screenshot for that you can see the progress they made. This just gives you a little good picture of how I've integrated some technology in my within schools and behavior plans. This is a self-management program that I researched about and found out, and we are implementing with the students. This is the Fast Bridge testing, which is what we use as our MTSS. It looks as a universal screener that we give 3 times a year and looks at areas of growth where we need to help students who are struggling to read or to participate in math or having behavior problems. This gives an idea of how I have engaged within the community. And external leadership, I'm a part of our school mental health team, which partners with our local mental health agency and comes in and runs groups in schools. It's something I've been really involved with, especially with the students that I work with. So it's important to me that it was included because I spent a lot of time within these meetings, as well as in site council meetings, which is another great way that we really pull the community in. I served as a member of the site council throughout this year, where we can share and collaborate with community members and family members, just to share about our school, but as well as hear feedback from them and input from them. An area that has been um, a lot of what my day is spent in is just helping with discipline and behavior management. So you'll see this is something that I do daily. We use PowerSchool, and I have to log any referrals and incidences that has happened, and then it then tallies it and puts it into areas so we can see any trends that are happening with our students. Having the ability to sit in on some interviews and be a part of an interview team has been a valuable experience as well. I have been able to interview paras, aides, and also a new teacher that will be coming into our building next year. And then finally, digital citizenship is important here for us. We are one-to-one with iPads, and so that's something that I felt would be very beneficial in sharing with our teachers, just in helping them understand um, everything that there is, and things that are available to them to help increase that digital literacy. The secondary level activities are including my Boys Town consultant team. I was a member of that and trained to become a consultant, as was requested by our district, but it allowed us to go in and work with teachers and make some observations, and then look at areas that we still need to grow in. Ethical decision making is important, especially important as an administrator. So you're going to see my project with that, as well as people first language. At the secondary level, I often find that this is something that we aren't as familiar with, and so it's important to me to be able to share that with our staff. And then this just shows how I was able to use some data-based decision making in order to come up with an action plan to help a teacher who was struggling with certain areas and meeting benchmark on areas. And within this, you'll find my email to her of giving her feedback based on the benchmarks that need to be met. And this just gives another idea of how I communicate. I am definitely a face-to-face communicator as much as possible, as well as I'm big on social media and interacting in that way that I know we can reach the most parents and families. And then as my growth as becoming a principal, this is definitely an area that I needed to look at again and have a better understanding. So it's definitely, I included it as well, just because as I reflect on areas that I know I'm still going to have to develop, is just, what are going to be my responsibilities um, within that position. The special education discipline process. Was one that I felt was very valuable, especially to our special education teachers as well as gen ed. There's usually a lot of questions that come into what happens when a student does engage in behaviors, especially if they are identified as a special education or a student who's receiving special education. So that was a tool that I passed on to my special education teachers as well as my coordinator. Building professional capacity was just a way that I looked at the secondary teacher observations and got to go in and view a lot of different teachers. And so that was a great experience for me, just to get into those different classrooms at the secondary level. Administrator verification is going to show you the 3 different administrators that I had verify the activities I participated in. So my assistant superintendent, my current principal, as well as the assistant principal at the secondary level. And finally, within my ePortfolio, you're going to find my reflection. I can't tell you how much I valued this ePortfolio and really putting together everything that I've spent so much time on over the past year. So it's it's very valuable to me, and I know that it's something that I'm going to be able to look back on if I get stumped or need help in certain areas. I have articles that I can go to, and I have, the different presentations that have already been created that when I do take on my role as an administrator, they're going to be there and going to be ready for me to go ahead and roll into. Um, Definitely feel that administration takes on a lot more than what I originally thought. As I've spent time this year being the custodian, being the nurse, the secretary. So there's just so much within it that the experience with the practicum has been. I've learned so much through that and being able to shadow the principal that I'm in. And finally, I just wanted to share that I actually did receive um, or was offered a position for a principal in the current building that I am in, and I have received that offer. So again, this has really, I felt like, prepared me to go ahead and step into that position and feel really confident that I'm going to be a strong leader and going to be a collaborative leader using that shared leadership style as much as possible. So I want to thank you for the opportunity to participate in the program and for being able to share my portfolio with you.